Have you ever been in a conversation with someone who looked like an adult, but emotionally it felt like you were talking to a child? Maybe you've worked with someone with the title of a leader, but when something didn't go their way, they acted more like a teenager than a leader. Maybe you've experienced this with a spouse, a friend, a coworker, a parent, or someone else in your life. If you've ever walked away thinking, why was that conversation so exhausting? You may be experiencing emotional immaturity. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Yvette, and I'm a certified social and emotional intelligence coach. And on this channel, we talk all things emotional intelligence. And today, we are talking about emotional immaturity. Before we jump in, I want to make one invitation. Most people click on videos like this because they're thinking of someone else. Someone in your life, a spouse, a boss, a parent, a coworker, someone that you've had difficult interactions with. And you're thinking, I bet that person is emotionally immature. I've done it too. But instead of using this video as a magnifying glass, I invite you to use it as a mirror. Because emotional intelligence begins by looking inward. And the harsh reality, we can't change other people. So even if our theory is confirmed that the other person that we're thinking of is emotionally immature, we still can't change them. We can only change ourselves. When you think about emotional immaturity, it isn't about your age. And it's certainly not an insult. What it is a pattern of thinking, feeling, and behaving that lacks the self-awareness, emotional regulation, and personal responsibility needed to navigate life and relationships in healthy ways. Simply put, emotional immaturity is responding to life's challenges in ways that are less emotionally developed than the situation requires. What emotional immaturity can look like: becoming defensive when someone gives you feedback, blaming everyone else instead of taking responsibility, reacting instead of responding, struggling to regulate your emotions, avoiding difficult conversations, giving people the silent treatment instead of communicating. And the list goes on and on. Let's talk about the 3 signs of emotional immaturity. One of the biggest signs of emotional immaturity is struggling to see yourself clearly. What that means is that you don't have an understanding of what you're feeling, why you're feeling it, how to communicate it, or the impact that you're having on other people. A lack of self-awareness. You cannot reflect on what you're not aware of. And if you can't reflect, then you can't grow. When you're thinking about emotional immaturity, think about an ability to demonstrate self-awareness or an inability. And that will help you to tell if this is an area where you can grow. The second sign are the 3 Ds. I think we've all done these, myself included. When we feel criticized, embarrassed, ashamed, or uncomfortable, our brains naturally want to protect us. And emotional immaturity often shows up in 3 ways. I call them the 3 Ds. Deny. That might sound like, it wasn't me. I didn't do that. That's not what happened. Defend. Yeah, but I only did that because, well, you, have you heard any of those before? Deflect. changing the subject, shifting the blame, bringing up someone else's mistakes, avoiding the issue altogether. The goal is not about growth. The goal is about protecting ourselves, protecting our ego, protecting our image, protecting ourselves from discomfort. What emotionally mature people do is instead of denying, defending, or deflecting, they get curious. They lean in. They ask questions. They want to inquire about the other person's experience. In all fairness, none of us enjoy being wrong. But when we are emotionally mature, we're willing to say things like, "You're right. I messed that up. I own that. Thank you for telling me." Remember, if you've not heard this before, feedback is a gift. And so when someone gives you information about yourself, how they experience you, it's an opportunity for you to respond in an emotionally intelligent way. But when you don't have the tools yet, you may deny, defend, or deflect. The third sign, using emotions in unhealthy ways. This one isn't always loud, but it's lasting. What that looks like: the silent treatment, passive aggression, guilt, withdrawing affection, emotional outbursts. These are painful. Expecting people to read your mind, making other people responsible for your emotions instead of communicating. In situations like that, you are being punished. What emotional maturity looks like is healthy communication, honest communication, emotional responsibility and availability, respect, connection over control. So those are the 3 signs of emotional immaturity. On this channel, we always offer a challenge. I would love for you in the next 3 days to take some time to think through the 3 signs and see which one you want to work on. Just one. Growth doesn't happen overnight. It happens with one habit, one conversation, one decision to accept the challenge that I just offered you. Remember, this video is not about judging yourself or anyone else. It's about becoming emotionally mature ourselves. And when you do, you get to experience the difference that emotional intelligence can make. A complete 180 in your life. 10xing whatever it is that your desired outcome is, emotional intelligence can help you to get there. And emotional maturity is definitely a sign that you are emotionally intelligent. If you found this video to be helpful, like, subscribe, comment below which one of these signs challenged you the most. And until next time, keep happening to life. Take care.